Hello everybody and welcome to Wosnice, Season 2, Episode 1. Since last time, quite a bit has changed on our farm. For one, we've got the big silo and we've got a new field. So now I have these three fields here that are one next to each other. We also came into the possession of a mulcher, a brand new seeder with a 6-meter working width, and a new weeder. Our chickens have been hard at work producing tons and tons of eggs, which we will sell when the time is right. Now you may be wondering the reason I decided to go with a second season instead of just continuing where I had left off. The answer to that question is quite simple actually. I found that we were kind of stagnating and not progressing very fast, and I know that fast progress isn't part of Farming Simulator, but at the same time, I don't want every episode to be exactly the same thing over and over. So the way I see it, starting another season is actually pretty logical in the sense that we keep the same map, we have the progress from our previous season, but in between seasons, I'm free to play a bit off screen and make things progress, so that way you, the viewer, have interesting content to view. Plus, by doing seasons, this way I can make clear objectives as to where we're going and what we're trying to achieve. In season 1 we were kind of just drifting around and going with the flow. We bought a bit of equipment and started getting our farm running, but we never did have a clear objective as to what we were trying to achieve. This is going to change with this season 2, so I've set myself up with 3 clear objectives for season 2. How many episodes is this going to take? I am not 100% sure, but I'd like to get it done under 10 episodes. So our first objective would be to buy one of these 3 fields here, either in 97, 99, or 100. This way we could get some real money coming in, because these tiny fields that I own right now, well, they don't produce much cash, now do they? Our second objective will be converting this entire field here into a yard extension and animal enclosures. And our third objective will be getting pigs onto our farm. There is no set order in which we have to complete these objectives, but season 2 will be considered complete when all 3 are done. So the same rule as in season 1 still apply, a maximum of 2 rentals, no loan, and no auto loading. Seasons are turned off, but basically everything else is turned on, like high fuel usage, quick dirt. The only thing basically that isn't on is field stones because, well, I really don't like doing field stones. It's just so tedious. Now, it's time to get things started. So let's get the ball rolling. Our first task today will be to mulch our 2 fields that we harvested. So we have these 3 fields here, but this one doesn't need to be mulched because I purchased it in a cultivated state. So we'll start off with the field to the far end. As it stands, all my field have been harvested. They all require certain attention. These fields here, for example, they need to be mulched. They already have weeds growing, but they don't need to be limed. So basically we're going to mulch, cultivate, and seed these 3 fields. So let's unfold this machine here, and I will see you once the job is done. And voila, we made short work of our mulching fields. Of mulching our fields, yeah. Anyway, so let's go swap out the M7 for the Lambo, and we're gonna get started on the cultivation of the two fields here. Luckily, we only have 2 out of 3 to cultivate, so this is gonna be very, very fast. I will unhook the mulcher into the shed here, and I will attach the fertilizer spreader to the M7 because this will be required. The middle field actually needs to be limed, so what I'll do is I'll just apply lime to all 3 fields. That way we'll have that aspect covered for the incoming future. Now that the fertilizer spreader is attached, I'm just gonna empty out the fertilizer bags from the spreader. So let's empty this. I think this is a good spot. No, not enough room to empty at all. There we go. And there we go. Wow, so neat. Alright, so I'll leave the M7 here for now. And hop into the Lambo. And we'll attach the cultivator and go get this done. So again, we'll start with the farthest field here. Only seems logical. We're working our way back to the farm. Gonna unfold this cultivator right here. And with the Lambo, this job is gonna take maybe 10 minutes tops, real time. So I'll see you when it's done. And with the cultivation out of the way, we're gonna move on to the next step of our process. We're gonna go and buy some lime at the store. I'm just gonna drop off the cultivator into the garage here, then I'll hop into the M7, drive on down to the dealership, acquire some lime, and then we'll get our 3 fields limed. So since I'm going to the store and I'm gonna be spending some of my hard-earned cash, I thought I would give you guys a little look at our finances as a show of good faith and continuity. Now unfortunately this only goes all the way back to April, and if I recall correctly, our last episode was in January, but I assure you, all these transactions are legit. No money has been cheated, no loan has been taken out, I did not rent anything else than a combine harvester. I did spend a lot of money on equipment, and I did not bring in a lot of money. So, as you can see, I only have $7,000 in my bank account, nothing to brag about. It's a real good thing that these lime bags are very cheap because I'm kinda strapped for cash. I only bought 1 bag for now because I can only fit 1. 2 bags won't fit completely in here. And unless I absolutely have to buy a second bag, which I probably will have to, I don't really want to spend money for no reason. Now I'm not expecting this 1 bag of lime to go very far. I'll be actually pretty surprised if I manage to get all 3 of my fields done with this one bag. But hopefully, and I am saying hopefully, I'll have to look at the map and see the conditions of all my fields. But I'm pretty sure that the only field that actually needs lime is the middle one here. If I'm not mistaken, the rest of my fields are okay in the lime department. So I think I'm pretty centered. 21 meters ought to be wide enough, hopefully. So let's get this done. And there we go. I'm just gonna shoot off this, empty out. So I'll bring back the fertilizer spreader to the yard. And now we can actually start sowing our field. Now I'm gonna sow some sorghum because sorghum grows fast and it's worth a lot of money, and plus it can be used as chicken feed, which is very useful because my chickens go through a lot of food in a very short period of time, but the eggs are worth just so much money. I don't mind investing in the sorghum. So let's just refill this with the fertilizer before storing it. So let's just park this here because we will be needing the fertilizer spreader very shortly. So I'll turn off the M7. I'll hop back into the Lambo. Now I'm not exactly 100% sure how much seed we have left in this machine here. Hopefully it'll be enough. I'm pretty sure it would be. I don't think I used that much last time. Yeah, that should be more than enough for our 3 small fields. I'm gonna sow all 3 of these fields with sorghum. That way we'll have a decent amount when it's time to harvest, because if you combine all 3 of these fields, it actually adds up to being one pretty big field. Now what I would like to do, maybe depending on what time it is by the time I'm done doing this and fertilizing the field, of course, I would like to get a chainsaw and cut these trees down. That way I could actually combine all 3 fields, plus I would remove the trees that are constantly being obstacles, especially when I try to do stuff with AI. So anyway, I'll see you once the job is done. Super, another job done. Now we'll drive back to the farm and swap out for the M7. That way I can spread the fertilizer using the Kubota tractor. So getting all 3 of these fields done, barely used any of our seeds. If I'm not mistaken, we didn't even use a full 200 liters, which is very good. It's cost efficient. So let's drop this off here. We can turn off our beacon light. So I'm gonna park the Lambo in the garage for now. And again, we're going right back to our fields. And apparently knocking over a flower pot. Oh well, I never liked that pot anyway, it's always in my way. So instead of setting the width to 21 meters, I put it at 30 meters just to be safe. I'd rather overspray than having to come back with like an 8-meter working width just to do those little patches which I miss. At least this way, I won't miss any patches. Okay, and we're done with these 3 fields for today. Of course, I will have to apply a second layer of fertilizer in the next month, and the weeds ought to be growing as well. But let's just have a quick look on our map. So as we can see, there are no weeds growing at the moment anyway, but I'm sure next month we'll have weeds, because we always do. We have our first layer of fertilizer applied to all 3 fields. None of them are due for plowing. We've limed all 3 of our fields, and field 96 and 98 have been mulched. Unfortunately, I couldn't mulch 97 because it was already cultivated. I bought the field in a cultivated state. So I only have one last job to do for today, other than dropping off the fertilizer spreader at the farm, of course. I'll back the fertilizer spreader here, and I'll put the weeder in front of it because next time we will be removing the weed before applying our second layer of fertilizer. So let's just pop this off here, lower it to the ground. We'll attach the weeder, and we're gonna pop this off right in here. And just like so. There we go. So let's park the M7 tractor. We're done with it for today. For our last job, we're gonna need the Lambo tractor. Well, I'm pretty sure the Kubota could actually handle this, but just because I like the Lambo and it matches the mower, you guessed it, I have to go mow my field. Now I haven't bought the other grass field yet, the one which is right next to the field I own, because it's quite expensive and I don't have enough money. But you're gonna see anyway, is getting to a point where it's actually kinda silly, because I've cut the grass so many times and I've never picked it up, never baled it. I've never done anything with it. So it's just piling up. We're gonna have to clear off some of these eggs as well, because we're gonna run out of space to spawn more eggs. This is the field that I would eventually like to own, hopefully sooner than later, but it's not in our priorities right now, as I've listed our 3 objectives for the season, and buying another grass field is not in that priorities list. I'll try to stick to the list as much as possible, with some side projects of course. So anyway, as you can see, yeah, the grass is piling up pretty high all over the place. I think I've cut the grass like 5 times now, if not more. So if, ideally I'll rent a windrower and a baler and a bale wrapper and etc, and get that job done before, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's December or January, the best time to sell silage bales. I'll have to look into when's the best time to sell silage, but in any case, the sooner I get this done, the better, because if I get sidetracked and I forget about it and then my grass doesn't have enough time to ferment, well, I'm gonna feel silly, because this is literally pure green money just waiting to be sold. Fantastic. We've done so much today. All the jobs I wanted to get done are done. I'm pretty happy. So let's just go and drop this off at the farm, and then we're gonna call it a day. So I'm gonna drop this right in front of the planter because I don't think I'll be using it quite yet. So let's just drop this here. Turn off my beacon light. Back this up in its parking, and there we go, and nicely lined up. Oh, you know what, wait, I'm forgetting something. The beautiful white shiny front weight matches the tractor. Alright, now I can park this here. There we go. There we go. Turn this off. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the concept of having seasons with objectives that are clear. That way we don't deviate too much. Yes, I will still do side jobs and kind of explore around and do my own thing, but at least I have a clear path, a goal if you will. I think that will keep things interesting. Please feel free to leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, bye bye.